Hello and welcome back to Healed Enough. I'm so glad you're here today. I got a distinguished guest in the building. He go by the name of Ayye Kev. I'm excited to have him on the podcast. You know, he got some new music coming out, and you know, we talk about media with a message, music with a message, and this man, he got media with a message, and he got music with a message. He had a documentary come. You know what? I'm gonna just let him introduce himself. Hey Kev, could you tell the people a little bit about yourself?
How y'all doing? It's your boy Ayye Kev, Christian hip hop artist from Washington D.C. Resigning right now and also staying in PG County, Maryland right now. Shout out to everybody that's in the 301 and also on northeast side of Washington D.C. Been doing music since I would say about at least around like nine. But also been recording music at the age of 19. I put my first project out, which was titled The Process, was back in 2017, and where I regained and also had to refocus back into my life with Christ as well. Ever since then, ever since my first project, I took my career to pursue my career as a Christian hip hop artist by storm, by meeting some wonderful people such as Danielle, Feel the Real, Nonfiction, and the list goes on. But can't wait for y'all to check out this dope interview and also this dope project that's coming out titled Overtime. The release date is March 21st. And
Okay, that's right around the corner for real.
everybody go ahead tune in. Got you.
Yeah, and I'm excited about his new album coming up, man. I'm excited because I ain't trying to brag or nothing, but you let me get a sneak peek. You let me get a exclusive listen, and I'm just like, okay, I see the progression every time you put something out. It's just keep getting better and better, man. Is that what this the title of it is? It's because it's called Overtime. And I at first, when you said overtime, I'm thinking like, I've been working overtime. So is it like a play on words? Like over time I've gotten better, of over time you see things grow and progress, or is it like over time like I've been putting in a whole bunch of work? Or is it a double entendre? Let us know.
I would say just listening to the project, would definitely say it's a double entendre for me, for myself as a person and also myself as an artist. You're definitely going to hear one of the interludes that's on the project, and we're just talking about pretty much, do you feel like getting up, going to the gym, or feel like getting up? Yeah, feel like getting up, going to the gym? Absolutely not. You'd rather just sit down and relax, but to be the best, you got to put in overtime. To be the best that you want to be as yourself, you got to put in overtime. So yeah, pretty much it's like a double entendre for me as an artist and also just as a person. Me just being more open, talking about just personal matters, issues that's been going on in my life right now, and just healing and growing. So
Yeah, okay. I totally get that. Like, over time you grown, you said you being more open and stuff like that. And then, you've been putting in overtime trying to be the best version of yourself. I love that. I love that. So during this project, like, was there something that sparked like, man, now is the time. I've been writing this music basically reflecting what's been going on in my life at the time, and now it's the time to let the world hear it. Hopefully, it ministers to somebody else in that situation. Is it that kind of vibe?
yeah, yeah. Honestly, I didn't think nothing much of it at first. We was at my girl's house actually, just playing around, just being creative. You know what I'm saying? Being creative. And one of the songs that's on there, we just wrote it right in the house. And then after that, we released another song titled Finish Line. And
Yeah.
the video is out right now on YouTube and also on all digital platforms.
No stopping, some of that grind. I cannot quit until I cross that finish line. This is my moment. At the point, man, I gotta make it. Look what I done. You see from afar, wasn't alone, and I've embraced it. Yeah, writing these verses is bigger than me. Let's say a prayer that I keep up the faith and searching for strength, cause I gotta achieve.
Since then, I just sat in my room and I just said, I'm gonna title this project Overtime. And just ever since then, just been dropping it and just been, God has been just been flowing the words and also just the songwriting with me as well. There's another song that's on there that's probably more personal. It's a title More Than Anything. And
Mm-hmm.
it was it's titled that because you've been in a creative space for so long. And I think as artists sometimes we get to those points like where we focus on the album or focus on the project, we just try to have the songs that's already structured on there. We got to make sure all those songs that we wrote first, they go with the project. But with this one, because I felt like I was at a place that I was bouncing back and forth with certain songs, like this one not gonna fit, this one not gonna fit, or which one else is gonna make more sense. And that grew into a whole bunch of pressure for me, and just being so complicated. But I learned that you can't be too comfortable and be so complacent. When you out here, especially when when people see the potential in you and also see the growth and the progression, like you said yourself, in you. So you just got to keep on going and just keep making sure that you put your best foot forward.
Yeah, I definitely know about that. So you had a little you had some perfectionism going on as you was trying to make songs
Yeah,
for
yeah,
it.
man.
You gotta chill, bro. You gotta chill, man.
Yeah, man, because it's
Yeah.
like it's like one of the moments for me because we still have that perfection mindset. Like this guy work, this guy work, this guy work. Instead of just letting the words flow, instead of just letting the song just
Yeah, man, be free.
yeah, be free, keep on creating, keep on writing. And I it's like I said, it started to like grow into like pressure and then just anxiety and stuff like that. And with that
Yeah.
with that song, honestly, it took me about like I'm gonna say this is my like the third time to write it over. Because I wrote
What?
it twice. But I didn't like how I was saying certain things. So I just said, you know what? I'm gonna write it all over again. So
You wrote the whole album over again?
no, the
Or
whole
just that
song,
song? Oh, that's that
yeah, the
song.
whole song
Okay.
more than anything. Yep.
Yeah, well, I understand like going back and like you saying like, man, I can go harder, I can, perfect it or whatever like that. I understand that. And even when I'm telling you you gotta chill, where I be reminding myself that I gotta chill. You know what I mean? Because you want things to be right. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But when you start having anxiety about it or like you feeling like pressure, it's taking all the fun out of it. It's taking all the creativity, it's draining. You don't even want to do it no more.
Yeah, and then I started to look at this joint as a job, to be honest with you. Like
See?
pointing it to like pushing out the content, you know what I'm saying? Making sure the content is right on this day. Everything gotta be intentional, you know what I'm saying? Gotta do this, do it this way, do it that way. And it's like I lost sight of like the creativity and also the fun of it and stuff.
Yeah,
But
and where is God and all that? You know what I
yeah,
mean? He like you
yeah,
just worried about yourself and your
yeah,
plan and all that. Like,
yeah, and
you want to fit me in?
yeah, yeah, and it started
Hmm.
to get to that point, and I just had to take a step back for a second to like really figure out like, do I still really want to do this? Like, do I still like see it as a job, or do you really? And I know that's our hope, and that's our dream to get to that next level to make it to a career. But we got to continue to keep God first within the process and trust the process. So,
Yeah, man. It's something that I was thinking about, and I try to keep it like in the forefront of my mind, cause when you are like, okay, if I put this song out, people don't know it exists unless I tell people that it exists. So then you start, making content for it and everything like that. And then you start getting carried away. And then you start looking at the insights. You know what I mean? And you're like, oh, let me look at the analytics. And it's like, all right, now, there is a fine balance between making sure it reaches the target audience and then just being obsessed and obsessive with like, okay, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, and I gotta plan. It's like, okay, are you just looking for the insights, or are you trying to be impactful? And that's
mhm.
something like we all gotta remind ourselves with. I'm so glad that you're talking about it.
Yeah, man.
This the space for it, bro. This healed enough. This is space for it. Like, I'm glad you're talking about it.
There's a lot up on me during that time because when I dropped the album Better Late Than Never in 2022, it was like a huge space. And just to be transparent, I was going through a little difficult time at the time, with my grandfather, he passed away.
Yeah.
And also just creating a balance, in my relationship, which it almost, went to an end, what I'm saying, until we had a really deep conversation about just, finding the time to know who A Kev is and who Kevin is, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like one of the moments, like for me, I had to really like get back into the mode where, family comes first, and also just making sure the people around you is right, and before you step back out there. So it was it
Yeah.
it was a lot. And it, even that without me even talking about that on the project, it just my life or whatever just has been in a hole. As much as you've been in the overtime, you being there for your moms, your brother, you know what I'm saying? Being a good, male figure around the world, like you said, being impactful. Just being a good, man to your girl and stuff like that. And just, try to be the best person you can be in these times right now. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's been definitely been a journey for me.
Yeah, I can definitely see that, man. I was talking about that the other day with my church family. Like, man, grief can make you crash out. A lot of people, crash out after that, and it puts like life into perspective. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
I I got these people around me that know me for real, that
Mm-hmm.
can touch me for real, that can like see me for who I am, and not just a person that's putting out music or content and stuff like that. And at the
Yeah.
end of the day, I want to make sure the people that know me in real life, I can spend time with them and stuff like that, man. Yeah, man. I see like on your album cover how you got like different pictures and stuff like that. And I was thinking like, oh, look at him on his journey. And it just say, over time. And I'm like, okay, I get that. I
Mm-hmm.
could get that. And then as you was just explaining it, I definitely see where you were coming from. You like,
Yeah.
I gotta be all like all facets of myself. I gotta be all of myself and not just this one part of myself. So I get that. I know it's somebody listening that's gonna be sobered up by that for sure, for sure, man. Like let's talk about the album cover though. Like, would you like in this picture I was going through this, put that on there. In this picture I was going through this, put that on there. In this picture I was here, go put that on there. In this picture I was doing this, put that on there. Like, tell me the thoughts behind the album cover for real.
Honestly, it came from to be honest with you, it came from a previous project that I was gonna put out, which never happened. But it was just the idea of just having like a collage, because I see a lot of people doing that, from time to time, and it just that's just what came about it. But it wasn't like to the point like it was different like stories or whatever like that. It was just like I'm gonna say moments
Mm-hmm.
that very highlighted for me at the time. Sometimes the good, and sometimes bad, and sometimes even great moments where God what has led me through. So
Yeah.
mhm.
So basically, I was right, man. I be knowing. I be knowing, bro. I be knowing. Like, I keep messing with you, bro.
you know
So, Finish Line was your like first single for this, right? And
yeah,
that was with you and Trey.
shot by yeah.
Sharp Eye. That's his artist name?
Now TR3 is his
TR3. Okay.
yeah,
TR3. I like that. And
mhm.
that's basically Trey too.
Pretty much.
That's dope. Okay, okay. I like that. He creative, man. I see him doing the content stuff too, and like y'all work together on that hook.
Yeah, nah, he like I said, everything that came together at my girl's house.
Mm-hmm.
I sent him the beat for the song. Yeah, I sent him the title, and it came about right there, right in the basement. He had the Veloco. We was make sure we used the Veloco app to get the recording of it on there. So when he had the mic and everything set up, and he was just in the zone. And that's
Nice.
yeah. So,
Yeah, man. And I see like Fast and the Furious vibe in the video and stuff like
yeah.
that.
Yeah. On limited time, that can be Wednesday. I'm in my prime. I got a poor man grabbing up, saying what is mine.
Cause that's a creative video. And so, what's the second one?
The second single we actually working on three.
Okay.
But the second one that we were looking to pursue to do is titled "Came a Long Way." Came a long way. Shout out to TR3 again, and
TR3, I like that.
shout out to Nonfiction.
Mm-hmm.
In the song, and what came about that was just another simple tactic. You know, saying get them the beat. You know, what I'm saying I didn't even really give him these titles. It was just all came into mind, except for Finish Line. I gave him that title, but they came a long way when he came that up by itself. I had it in the stash, so I just said, you know, here Trey, tell me what you think of this beat. I said, I think you'll really sound good on this Jones. So, and he sent it back to me, and there it go right there.
Nice. Now
Mhm.
break down the lyrics of like came a long way, like the hook. Came a long way.
Oh, yeah.
I just know the melody.
I got you. Came a long way. Hey, been locked in since once of the day. Hey, from the basement to the stage. Hey, slaving for minimum wage.
Overthinkers and the dream chasers and the game changers. It was all worth it up in God's favor. Yeah, came a long way. Stepped with the plan, I thought out the box. Y'all didn't agree. I stood on my feet to fill up them seats. I sit at the bar, so who's at the top?
This pretty much is talking about how much of the journey has been for us ever since we started to create and I started to make music and been, you know, him being a full-time entrepreneur and just and me just still growing as an artist, you know, while we're still trying to just, you know, go through a day-by-day basis with our, you know, 9 to 5 career,
Mm-hmm.
just and still trying to pursue a career in music as well. So and then the second part, he was like writing the vision and making it plain. And then he was like and, you know, just talking about just taking those L's and also just taking those losses. And you know, while we taking those losses, it's lessons to gain from them. So
Right.
yep,
Yeah. You either win or you learn.
yeah.
I mean, both is a win too, though. Like the more wisdom you got, you winning. You feel me?
Most
So,
definitely. Most
yeah, I can
definitely.
definitely see like the theme of the EP, like over time. Cause you
Mhm.
talking about came a long way. That didn't happen overnight.
Nah.
You know, that happened over time. You
Right, there
see,
you go.
see, it happened in over time, bro. So, like, what would be? Is there like a scripture that you could share that would mirror this album,
Yeah,
this
sure.
EP?
hmm I'll be going off of the Book of Psalms, chapter 30, 37, verse 4. This is the NIV version too as well. It says, "Take delight in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart."
Yeah, that one. Okay.
So, reason why for that one, it spoke to me, because it's just one of those things where you just had to trust in him first. Because we get so we get so antsy sometimes. And even with me, you know, going through this album and this project and stuff, you know, you had people in your ear trying to figure out like when's the next single coming out and
They need to shut up.
you know what I mean? And, you know,
I hate when people do that, bro.
right, you know what I mean? Like, God dang, I can't enjoy life, you know? Like,
My pastor was talking about that the other day, bro. I hate when people do that. But
yeah,
go ahead. My bad. I cut you off. I got triggered.
good.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Nah, you good, but you know, it be them moments like, you know, people be asking when the next project coming out, you know what I'm saying? We need more music, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm trying to enjoy my life, bro. Like, but it was one of them things like I felt pressured, but at the same time, I still had to give it to, you know, the God first and stuff because he knew what my heart was. He knew what I wanted to do, what my desires were. And just, you know, looking at your peers too as well, that gained a lot of pressure up on me. Like I said before one time in the interview, I look at you, Nun, and Phil is like one of the top, you know, people in the DMV right now that,
Man, appreciate it, man. But hey, everybody got their own thing going.
yeah, you know, I mean, yeah, and that's true.
Yeah, we all look, we all doing it for the Lord. So it's like ain't no need to. I'm happy for y'all.
Yeah, most definitely. But it just one of them, that scripture though just wanted me to just, you know, take it all with him and just, you know, just trust in him in the process. But that definitely that scripture for me was just gonna resonate for this project.
Man, that's beautiful. So what closing out here, like what do you had to say to like the people listening about the EP Overtime? Like how will it minister to them? Like how would it speak to them? Like in what way are you praying and hoping that it will impact their lives?
I would definitely say, for me, don't be afraid to be open.
Yeah.
Everybody love everybody loves just, the transparency and also the growth that's showing too, you as an artist and as a person as well. So
Okay. Y'all heard it straight from him. Ayye Kev said, hey, don't be afraid to be open. Be vulnerable. Be transparent. Like, everybody know everybody life ain't perfect. So if you can share something that can help somebody else, don't hesitate to share it. Especially with the right people, especially if you have a platform. Because there's so much stuff that is like happening on the internet, and social media. People usually just post their highlights. There are a few people that actually talk about what they're going through. They don't tell it all, and they don't need to. Nobody needs to tell it all, but especially to the internet. But you know what I mean. It is good to be vulnerable, to be open. So man, we appreciate you, man. Yeah, I'm glad to have you on here. When the EP drop again?
March 21st,
March
Friday.
21st, and it'll be on all streaming platforms. I know you're gonna have some dope merch to go with it too.
Most definitely.
Oh yeah, I know. See, I know. Yeah, listen, I would definitely cop one. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'll wear it in the next episode. You feel me? Like this episode is sponsored by Ayye Kev. Go get that merch. Again, man, this is a great interview. Thanks for coming on. Y'all remember to check out Ayye Kev's EP Overtime. Until next time, this is Healed Enough.